1,
2,
3,
4.
Monster movie.
Fun time, go! Monster movie.
Fun time, go. Monster
Movie.
Fun time.
Go!
Monster movie. Fun time, go.
With Precious D and Honeybee.
Fun time, go!
This is your typical radio ad while eating a Crunch Bar.
This is Automatic of Otto's Used Cars. This weekend only, we're having a whale! Bring the kids. See for yourself. It is huge. Gonna make a big splash. No other dealer can say they have a whale like this.
When things sound dull, turn up the fun with Crunch.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, welcome to Monster Movie Fun Time Go, 31 Days of Horror. Oops, All Werewolves edition. This is day number 8. I am one of your hosts, Precious D.
And I am the other one of your hosts, Honeybee.
Normally, we talk about kaiju movies on this podcast, but in October, we go on a Madcap marathon, and this year it's all werewolves, and today we're talking about the so-called movie Among the Shadows.
Oh, shit.
It's from 2019. It is 96 minutes in color. Wikipedia doesn't list the budget, but somebody on Letterboxd said with great authority that the budget was $12 million.
What? Where?
What did they spend it on? Did that all go to Lindsay Lohan?
Yeah, I was just about to say maybe it all went to Lindsay.
My theory is that it was some kind of money laundering scheme. Because they certainly didn't spend that money on effects. If I had known that this was a vampires versus werewolves movie, I wouldn't have picked it because I was trying to stick to just werewolves. But you can't tell the difference because they didn't put the werewolves in any kind of werewolf outfits. They just made their eyes glow a little bit. I don't know.
They both have
they
fangs.
had some teeth.
Yeah, but the vampires have fangs and the werewolves have canines.
Yeah, did we even see the fangs on the vampires though?
One time we see fangs on the vampire, and they look the exact same, basically. Like maybe a little bit smaller.
Yeah. Maybe their eyes didn't glow. This was directed by Tiago Mesquita, written by Mark Morgan. The cast is Charlotte Beckett as not Kate Beckinsale. She seems very much cast to trick us into thinking we're watching an underworld movie. It says here Detective Christy Wolf. I thought she was a private detective. I guess a private detective is still a detective, but calling her detective implies police detective. She's a private detective. And her name's fucking Wolf, please. Gianni Capaldi as Lieutenant...
With an E.
Yes, Wolf with an E. Capaldi, is he... Oh, Jesus, now I gotta check it. Yes, he is related to Peter Capaldi. This is one of the Doctor Who's. It doesn't say how he's related. He's Lieutenant McGregor. Lindsay Lohan as the woman in front of the blue screen, Patricia Sherman. We'll get to that in a minute. Dominic Madani as Colin Harrison. Reynold Bialis as Frederick Forsyth. What? Barry J. Minoff as Matthew Benoit. Christoph Verdonik as Richard Sherman. Oliver Engelbert as Bastien. Peter Organ as Lycan. What? Jean-Michel Vovk as Max Edelman. John Flanders as Harry Goldstone. Daniel Hugh Kelly as Bittencourt. Bond Gebrüdel as Mason. Angela Grace as Angelique. Gail Gills as Nina. Simon Cotton as Lon. Is that supposed to be a Lon Chaney reference? John Culliford as Robert. Martin Harris as Armand. Samantha Whalley as Emmy. Yvonne Miranda as news anchor. And Veronique Seegers as Jogger. This was shot in Brussels, And that appears to be why Lindsay Lohan agreed to be in it. But half of her stuff is just in front of a blue screen. Another scene is just in the back of a limousine. There's only one scene where we see her interacting with Brussels in any way. It's a scene in the graveyard.
And I just distinctly remember her being such a better actor when she was a kid.
Yeah, she was phoning it in. Absolutely. She was not putting any effort whatsoever into this. And fuck you.
And,
look, if you take the job, you do the job. I mean, it's true they didn't give her a whole lot to work with, but she was absolutely phoning it in.
It was just like,
It's
man, it was
not
just
okay.
it was just kind of bad. And like, here's the thing is like everyone talks shit about Lindsay Lohan because she's like crazy and all of her drugs and blah, blah, blah. And like, I just don't really like, I'm just not here for it. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I think that celebrities are under this microscope and like it's fucked up and they're humans too and whatever. So I don't really care about all that shit. Like, none of that has anything to do with anything for me. But she kind of sucked in this movie. Like, it wasn't just her though. Every actor in this movie sucked. This movie was garbage.
It's all bad. It is.
So bad.
Is. I had no idea. It was recommended to me on Hulu, folks. If for any godforsaken reason you want to watch this piece of shit, it's on Hulu.
Don't.
I mean, we had to have a bad one, I think, at some point.
Well,
But
this is the one. Here it is. We found it.
Really, it's gotta be a money laundering scheme. I'm gonna try to go through this plot. Oh my god, there's so much plot for there being no plot.
Yeah,
in this fucking
we shouldn't
movie.
even go through the plot. Isn't this like a bonus episode? Shouldn't we just talk shit and
No,
bounce?
this is that's true. We don't. Yeah, on these 31 Days of Horror, we don't go through the whole plot. We just say what we thought about the movie. I mean, we'll talk. I guess I won't read through the whole thing, but I will just sort of try to cover it in broad strokes. After Brexit, there was Frexit. France also left the European Union, but now there's something called the United States of Europe, and Lindsay Lohan's husband is the president and is running for re-election. And she's a vampire, he's a vampire. There's some werewolf that's also running. At some point, he ends up dead, and she runs for president in his place. The main character, her uncle gets killed in the beginning, and so she's trying to figure out who killed him.
And the uncle's a campaign manager for the other guy running.
Yes, and she has a murder board, and she keeps pinning things to it, but I don't see that she's actually making any progress.
And she does this weird thing, like kind of like Sin City style, like where she's kind of narrating shit as it's happening, and it's just not very well. It's
a hard-boiled detective. Yeah, she's doing the Sam Spade hard-boiled detective thing. And then a dame walked into my office with legs that went all the way up to here, and whatever. But it's shit.
It's shit. And the mind reading bullshit was shit. It's just shit. This movie was.
This is what I've been calling a Type 3 werewolf movie, which is The Secret Lives of Werewolves, with a little bit of Secret Lives of Vampires thrown in. But it is just such a boring. The Werewolf Society is so goddamn boring. She just kind of wanders aimlessly through this movie trying to put these pieces together.
Sometimes drunkenly.
Yeah, she drinks a lot. There's a couple of sex scenes. Are they both with the human detective?
I think remember one sex scene.
Does he end up dead? The other one might not be with her. It might be with somebody else. Some nameless person that gets murdered, I think.
Damn.
And some, like some mistress or something of somebody else. One of the politicians, maybe. But in the end, she loses. It turns out that Lindsay Lohan is the one who killed the campaign manager. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe just to help with her husband's campaign. It also seems to have been her plan to kill her husband. I don't know. Everything seems to have worked out for her. And then and there's this whole thing with her reading her mind, and Ms. Wolf takes a potion to prevent it, but it doesn't really work. So in the end, she tells her, she kills McGregor, the lady, the Lindsay Lohan, kills McGregor, subdues the werewolf telepathically, tells her all her villain plan, and that Christy Wolf is going to be set up to take the fall, but will be released in 12 months and will get a big fat reward. How do you release her unless she gives her presidential pardon? It's a murder. You don't get out after 12 months. So she just gets arrested and goes to jail, and in her voiceover is all like, but I'm going to, okay, I guess I don't have any choice. I'm going to do this, but I'm going to get her. Like, don't you think she knows that you're going to want to get her? Don't you think she's going to have something in place? So our so-called hero just doesn't achieve any of her goals, really. I mean, she finds out who did it, but she doesn't punish them. She doesn't avenge. She seems motivated totally by vengeance and doesn't get that vengeance at all. It's just tedious and boring. And to me, the most unforgivable sin the movie can make is to be boring. So, yeah. Fuck this movie.
Fuck this movie.
There's not even a link for Charlotte Beckett. Surely she must have been in something else. Let's see what IMDb says. And I was poking around Letterboxd, and I'm not the only one who noticed that she was Dollar General store Kate Beckinsale. Have you seen any of those Underworld movies?
Yeah, I like them.
I do not, but compared to this piece of crap.
I mean, I haven't seen them, like, in so fucking long. Like, so long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was watching them, like, in, I guess, like, junior high.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I mean, I remember liking them pretty okay. And this movie was garbage.
Yeah. She's been in some other stuff. None of it looks really... The Demon Headmaster? Something called Drop Dead. None of it looks like it's particularly... She was in 2 episodes of Penny Dreadful.
The acting is just so bad. It feels like
I don't recognize
community theater. Like, it just feels bad. I mean, not to say that community theater is bad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, it seems like a bunch of people were just like a cold reading of a script, like the
Let's
first
put on a movie
rehearsal. Yeah, like it was just like no one, like either the people who were like acting were either like reading lines out of the palm of their hand, it felt like, or trying way too fucking hard, and because no one was matching that energy, it just was not working. Like the lieutenant, sometimes he kind of like freaks out, and I'm just like, bro, chill. Like it just wasn't good. It wasn't good. It was horrible.
Oh my god, I'm looking up...
What are you looking at?
I'm looking up Lindsay Lohan to see what she's been doing lately. Mm-hmm. She had a thing come out last year called Falling for Christmas. It looks like it's got to be like a freaking Hallmark or Lifetime, made for TV Christmas movie.
Yeah. I saw it advertised.
Netflix. It's a Netflix Christmas movie. That's I don't know if that's a step up or a step down from a Hallmark Christmas movie, but
I'd say
but
like
there
a half
you go.
Step up.
Step sideways. I think it's a lateral move.
Yeah. Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay,
I loved
we hardly
her
knew
when
ye.
she was like a kid, and I feel like she was such a good. Excuse me. I feel like she was such a good actress, like when she was a kid. She did like Parent Trap and then like Freaky Friday, and she was good. I thought she was so good, and maybe that's because I was a kid, maybe because I grew up with her or whatever. But then like I was excited when I saw her too, like, oh shit, okay, and then it was just like, wow, this is horrible.
Oof. She had a child recently. This year, sometime this year, in July. It's pretty damn recent. So I guess she's getting her shit together. I don't know. I mean, I want her to be well. I certainly don't wish her any ill. Except for the fact that she was in this fucking movie. I guess I wish her some ill from that.
This kind of, it's like that, in Zombieland when they shoot Bill Murray and they're like, Bill Murray's like dying and they're like, any regrets? And he's like, Garfield maybe. I feel like this is that for Lindsay Lohan. Like if
right.
Like this is her regret.
But didn't Bill make 2 Garfield movies? So
I don't know. I only saw the first one.
You put me in 1 Garfield movie, shame on you. Put me in 2, shame on me. I think this is going to have to be a short episode because there's just nothing to say about this other than it's crap.
There really
Don't watch
isn't. It's crap.
Don't watch it. Is this supposed to be her on the? Is this her on the poster? Is this meant to be Lindsay on the poster?
I didn't see the poster.
Can't really tell. I think so. Well, it comes up when you're on, on Hulu, looking at it. I think it's her, but I wouldn't recognize it. I didn't realize she was in it till I was watching it. So, yeah, there you go. Honeybee, should I even ask? What are you gonna rate Among the Shadows?
This is a 1 star for me.
Yeah. You mean a new moon? It's a new moon.
Oh yeah.
We're using the moon scale, folks. New moon to full moon.
New moon sounds way too positive for this movie. Like just because the word "new," it just makes it sound better.
Right.
And it's not.
It's a no moon. It's
a no moon.
Dark side of the moon. New moon, folks, is when the moon is completely dark. I mean, you can still kind of see it, but it's dark. Yeah, same. I'm going to give it 0. I'm going to give it the
is that
asteroid
an option?
hit the. Yeah, asteroid hit the moon and broke it into pieces.
Damn.
Which there was a very short television series. It's only like 6 episodes, but I own it on Apple, on iTunes, called 3 Moons Over Milford. That's sort of a situation comedy, sort of a family drama thing, and that is the premise that the moon is broken into 3 pieces because a meteor hit it, and it hasn't like destroyed society, but it's just sort of had an effect on society. Like somebody's being brought before the judge for having done something, and he's like, "Is this a 3 moons thing?" Like it's just kind of making everybody a little nuts. I don't know. I'm just bringing it up because I'm looking for something positive to talk about after this piece of shit movie. Folks, that's all we have to say about Among the Shadows, which I guess that's an apt title because it's pretty much all at night. So we'll be back tomorrow with hopefully something better. Until then, I have been Precious D.
And I have been Honeybee.
Remember to keep calm and take shelter in basements.
And please, don't misuse science.
We won't see you, but you will hear us next time on Monster Movie Fun Time Go. You've been listening to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. If you enjoyed the show, please rate and review us on your podcasting platform of choice. Our theme song is by the Texicano folk rock punk featuring Lita Lopez. You can support the show, find links to our social media, and even leave us a voice message at anchor.fm/MMFTG.